Well, good evening, everyone. I'm doing a little editing here on the fly. Had a little bit of an issue with my software tonight, so the one subject I was going to discuss is going to be postponed, but we'll get to that. Well, I see someone doesn't know how to follow the rules. We've got a gang stalker in here. Randy Lynn Erickson, who apparently doesn't comprehend the English language and doesn't know how to read, is scamming in here. So you are going bye-bye. And just so that everybody understands, Randy Lynn Erickson is not allowed in here. Anyone using the name Task Force is not allowed in here. Now, do you comprehend the English language, or is Russian the only language you comprehend? You are not allowed in here. Go do the mattress mambo with your lover or something and stay out of here. What, you're the cat and Timmy's the mouse? I guess that's the way it works. But what you are is what is known as a gang stalker, Randy. You're not allowed in here. You know you're not allowed in here, but you keep coming back. And what is this? I hadn't planned on going down here, but this gang stalker decided to open us up. Would you kindly explain to the audience what notice to principal is? You come on here, spam my live stream, engaging in gang stalking, and keep posting this juvenile nonsense. So would you mind explaining what you mean by this before I block you once again? Come on, Randy. She refuses to answer the question as usual. Task Force is a fraudulent criminal organization operating primarily on BitChute. Uh, they are violating the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. They are legally need principal served. Well, how am I going to serve the principal? I don't even know what you mean by that. Sorry, Golden Mare. But, she speaks in riddles. She's operating at a second grade level. She cannot articulate the English language properly. And this is she does this. But I can see that she is not going to answer my questions, so she will be eliminated once again. I don't understand. Yeah, I understand what you meant. I was trying to figure out what this principal thing is, and she refuses to answer the question. I know translating between Russian and English is a little hard. Maybe Randy can use a Russian to English translator so that she can comprehend the English language, comprehend when somebody asks a direct question. And she just, she's not a very intelligent woman, apparently. You would think someone that pretends to be a government agent would have the intelligence to pull off that fraud. But apparently she does not have that ability. She's hanging around with a man who is a joke. Well, I'm not going to look it up and research it. You are gang stalking in this chat, and you are too much of a coward to come out in plain English and say what you want. Specifically, who is the agent, who is the principal? Why is it so difficult for you to answer this question? Well, this is not about foster care tonight. And, you have that fraudulent channel over on BitChute. Why don't you go over there and talk about these, quit gang stalking my chat. I mean, let's see, your friend or whatever was photographed buying a yacht down in southern Florida, so possibly he and you are engaging in trafficking in kids. Is this what you're confessing to tonight in my room, that you are involved in the trafficking of children? It would appear to be that way because you do not talk about trafficked children. All you do is talk about other people. And, you refuse to address let's see, let me get I don't know how to delete a specific. Why are you changing the subject? Answer the question. I don't understand this evasion, Randy. You've got 8 people, well, 7 because you're one of them, and educate us. Golden Mare. Hi, Alexander Goddard. Let's keep on the subject, Randy. Why are you scared? You're running scared. You won't say the name of the so-called principal. You won't say the name of the engine. Okay, that's it. As you can see, Randy Lynn Erickson is once again engaging in gang stalking. She refuses to answer questions. It's unfortunate that Timmy has chosen such an absolutely stupid woman to run his cyber terrorist website, but birds of a feather, neither one of them are bright, so bye. Okay, let's try and get back on subject here. I don't know why Randy has to come in here. She has her own little channel, and whatever this principal thing is that she's talking about, you don't go on a live stream to do it. Well, that is slander and defamation of character. So if you would provide us contact information, task force, so that legal action can be taken against you, it would be appreciated. We need the name of your attorney. Is it Kirk Pendergrass by any chance? But you would think that this PPTF, who is trafficking children, would have a lawyer. So why don't you have your lawyer contact me, a qualified lawyer, and so I can pass this information on to Ms. Kennedy, since you like to defame her on the internet. Yeah, Task Force has mental issues as usual tonight, and I'm not understanding why I can't block her. She keeps coming back in. But I'm screen capturing the chat so that legal action, if you so desire, legal action can be taken. And I'm not understanding. Fine. That can go away. Well, she does. I'm not understanding why, well, I'm trying to get to that. We have a cyber terrorist in here, a woman who is pretending to be a government agent, and she just seems to have this problem with the English language. She's been told that she's not allowed in here, and she defames people constantly. She must be drunk again, but I'm going to try and get back on subject. The only thing I can figure is their channel must be failing, because why would a government agency representative need to come over to this site? I've only got 8 people on here, so there must be something wrong. She is running a failed website over there. They're having problems getting comments that are favorable to them. I'm surprised they're allowing comments, because they're getting ripped to shreds over there. Let me get back on track here. Just stand by. Well, Golden Mare, she's actually violating the law. There's at least one criminal investigation into the PPTF, both by the Judge Advocate General has now gotten involved because of recent actions in Kentucky and Tennessee. Hi, Lee. Anybody else that I've missed, because the gang stalker was in here again. It's Really weird. You try and ignore these people. This channel is not supposed to be about them. But she doesn't seem to understand that. And she manages to get herself talked about again. I think what it is, I think they're in a panic about Monday. I think Monday is not going to be a good day for Randy and Timmy. But we shall see. Yeah, I think that's why the barfly is starting up. They're preparing for bad news. Hi, Jolly. Welcome to the show. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Why are we... Yeah, sometimes this thing can be so annoying. There we go. I wonder what I did wrong. Oh well. Alright, now what I said I was going to have some information come out, and let me go to, let's see, what do we have here? Okay, this is the state of Florida versus Neely Petrie Blanchard. And we have a list of names and addresses that were... I would like, if anybody can tell me how this cyber terrorist is able to get around a YouTube block. I mean, I've got to be able to report this. As a matter of fact, I may put her on there's a consumer fraud website that I'm going to put this on, so everyone who does business with this real estate broker knows what her online activities are. I'm going to try and block her again. She must have like 100,000 email addresses on standby. Dwayne, I'm doing fine, and Amber's doing fine. She's in the back bedroom right now because it's hard to do anything. But let's get back on subject. Anybody in here that is a hammer or wrench, whatever they call it, if you see her name in here, just put her in timeout or something, because I haven't got time to play with this child. Anyway, there's a new list of witnesses in the Neely Blanchard trial that has been given over to the defense. And I went through this list before, but I'm going to go through it again just to refresh everybody. Matthew A. Bradshaw, Lowndes County Sheriff's Office, Valdosta, Georgia. This Nathaniel A. Law, Joshua Parker, Matthew A. Porter, Greg Roby, and Ryan Willis. Now, these are all the officers that arrested Neely Blanchard in Valdosta, Georgia. So they are going to be either going to be direct witnesses in the trial, or they are going to submit affidavits. And let us see what else we got. Okay, now there were two notices here, and I don't know if they're duplicates or not, but let me bring them up. It is saying that on the 3rd of March of this year, two witnesses will appear by video and must appear at meeting room 1, second floor at the Bowling Green, Kentucky, Warren County Public Library main branch located at 1228 State Street, Bowling Green, Kentucky. And the people that are going to be interviewed is Savannah Hendricks, who is going to be uh, interviewed at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Susan Blanchard, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. So those two are going to be interviewed at that time. And let's see what we have up here. What I'm doing is I'm reading March 8, 2002, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, or soon after. The state attorney will be presented, office and the witness. And what I'm trying to figure out, this is going to take place at the Shore Stay Inn, 1525-12, Litchfield, Minnesota. So someone in Minnesota is going to be interviewed, and we have a name of Jamie Krebs, and apparently this is going to be a Zoom. And it's giving Amy B. Bernd, BERNDT, is the officer that is going to be taking this deposition. It's a telephone deposition, and so there's that. So what they're doing apparently is they are starting to depose witnesses and the discovery evidence is out there. And we've had, interestingly enough, just trying to get my train of thought here. We had, interestingly enough, a spy pen introduced. The body cam evidence is coming in, so we may see video of the arrest of Neely Blanchard. I think some of the statements she made to police are going to be coming in. Yes, the discovery lead is going to drag them in. Now, what is generally done is they get all the potential witnesses, all the potential discovery on the record, and this is a notification to let the opposing attorney, whether the discovery is coming from the defense or it's coming from the prosecution, so that everybody gets their reciprocal discovery in time that they can study the evidence and figure out how they're going to present everything in court. And so I would suspect that two things are going to happen in regards to the law enforcement officers from Georgia. They are either going to come down to Florida and testify in person, or they are going to give out sworn affidavits, or they could do a teleconference and testify over the phone. This has been done before. Dwayne, my best-selling vehicle was any pickup trucks, Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado, Dodge trucks, and the absolute best-selling vehicle was Ford Ranger. My dealership in Ocala and in Putnam County serviced a lot of construction workers, farm workers, people that, painters and such things, people that needed pickup trucks. It still is in the Florida market a top selling vehicle. You can sell pickup trucks of any condition. Uh, the cars I had left were sent to dealer auctions. When I liquidated the business, I simply took the cars to the various dealer auctions and they were sold in the auction. And then I used the money to take care of remaining expenses with the business and the tax liability, paying off my employees, and so on. Uh, it was a three-part business: retail, which were the two car lots. Then I had my own retail business, which was a classic and antique car specialist. I brokered them, and my third was commercial vehicle uh, configuration and leasing. I leased satellite trucks to various um, media outlets, be it radio, TV, or mobile production vehicles. Well, Golden Mare, you really should get a Vax. You're lucky this time around, but you know, everybody can make up their own mind what they want to do, but I am a strong believer in vaccinations, so we'll leave it at that. But anyway, that's basically my news for tonight. I had planned on getting involved in talking about another case, but I have run into problems with my software, so I couldn't get that ready in time. And so I'm going to postpone it to another date. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm trying to see if I can get this to um, work. Because for some reason, uh, I think I figured it out, so bear with me a minute. See if this works. Well, I'm glad you're able to do this with your own immune system. I think it's rare, but if it works, it works. I'm not going to argue with that. I thought I was the only elder in here. But, I'm glad you were able to survive and so on. That's all the better. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on with this. Huh. Interesting. Well, I think where we're going um, with this is it's going to be um, innocent by reason of insanity, which is going to be hard to prove. Um, and I think either um, during the trial or during sentencing, because this is a murder trial, and to mitigate her sentence or at least try and get life without parole rather than the death penalty, she may decide to cooperate with the prosecution and with federal authorities. Yeah, this is a general discussion night anyway because what had happened is I was going to get into a specific case that I was made aware of. It's a year-old case, but I ran into production problems. So basically, this is an open discussion. Uh, yeah, I had Dodge Rams, which was a very good. The Dodge Ram Crew Cab is a very popular truck. And matter of fact, I have a leftover one from my inventory that I basically converted the um, title because on the outside it's a mess. It's an old, we call them bangers in the business. It's poor paint job, and the 2003 Dodge trucks had a problem with the dashboard in the Florida heat. They would basically uh, be out in the sun. The sun would literally bake the dashboard, and the whole thing would crack up. And so there's, half the dashboard is missing in the truck. But um, I had a mechanic that worked for me, and uh, we decided that we were going to um, overhaul the engine completely because we were using it to pull heavy trailers with, both hauling cars and other equipment that I own. So we completely overhauled the engine in it, um, um, replaced just about everything in the engine. So now we have uh, basically a new engine and an old truck, and so I kept it for that reason. Uh, I have stuff that I tow with it. The case is being very well being put together. One of the things they've done, which is rare in Florida, is they've sealed a lot of these documents. Yes, we get an outline of what is being produced in court, but they are not releasing specific discovery. In other words, I can't get my hand on the body cam footage. I can't get my hand on testimony. There's very specific things that I want to get my hands on, but I've been told by the court that the state prosecutor has filed a special motion with the court to keep this information sealed for the time being. And the court is going to notify me when the information will be released to the public, which may be either just before the trial or during the trial. Part of the reason they do this is they don't want to give the defense reason to declare a mistrial, because if they start flooding the media with all this information like they did in the Casey Anthony case, there's grounds for a mistrial and grounds for appeal. And both the prosecution and the judge don't want that. So they're being very careful with the case. I'm watching the message here, or the comments here, and I'm trying to scratch my head, figuring, little scratch on my head, trying to figure out what the hell you guys are talking about. Oh, here we go with the postmaster of the world again. And what's funny is I was going through files because I was looking for something, and I found a lot of stuff that I'm going to be using in future live streams, and one of them was a picture of J. Russell Gould, who is supposed to have the patent or the copyright on a flag, which is absolutely ridiculous. It was funny to look at some of the crackpot stuff that has been put out over the last 13 years. It's amazing how stupid these people are. And, this stuff is all documented. But, But we have now, basically, we're on a countdown. This is the 12th of February, so we are 2 days from a court decision. And I'm going to be curious to see what the reaction is going to be if certain people get the bad news over on the other website. Okay, I'm just checking something. Based on, yep, they're taking credit for something else they had nothing to do with. Nothing new there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. They're getting negative reviews. And last time this happened, they closed their channel. Well, there is an ongoing theory, speculation that Timmy is not in control of anything. It's all being done by the owner and publisher of the task force. And the clue to this is that he is never on the air. The only time you see him is when he's running around the country taking selfies, holding up a book in front of a building or a sign. That's all you see. There's no spoken commentary live, there's no recorded commentary, none of it. Now, they use the excuse that he is in some kind of psyop, which is convenient because when you say, oh, I'm in a psyop, I can't do any of this, there is no accountability. It takes accountability off the table, and that's why they're doing it. Because since he is claiming that he is, I look like I've lost weight. Okay. I haven't weighed myself, so I don't know if I have or not. Usually a camera will make it look big, so I don't know. Maybe I got a reverse camera. But anyway, he's able to basically pretend that he's this government thingamajobby, so he doesn't have to prove anything. He can say anything he wants and not prove it because it's not coming from him, it's coming from somebody else. And, you know, if he says he's doing something, he can't prove it because he's in a psyop. And so that gives him the freedom to hide, or else he's being told to hide by his controller. Well, thank you for that, Golden. And nice to know that I'm the incredible shrinking man here. It's nice to get good press for a change, because I... That's interesting. Somebody just sent me a text and says that Randy might be using her maiden name when traveling in order to avoid arrest, which would make sense because that's the only thing we know her by. The problem with that is if the authorities have all that information, because they would do a complete records check going back to the beginning. And I actually, in my search, I accidentally came across where Holmseth declares that he was not born Holmseth. He was born Larry Hoff in one filing with a court, and in another filing with a court, he expanded that to say that he was born Lawrence Hoff, and we've all known that. Last time I was in Palaca, actually, was about a week ago. I had business up there. Um, because I do things throughout the state anyway. And so, I was up there roughly a week ago. I did not get a chance to discuss anything with the Cummings case. Um, because as you know, the 10th was the anniversary of her disappearance, but I was up there taking care of something else, so I didn't get to ask any questions with the sheriff. I um, was there for about several hours and then I left. But I go up there from time to time. I still have associates up there, business associates that I work with for one reason or another. Yeah, there was another wife escaped Danny Lee. I don't know how many that makes now. He seems to be going for a record. Um, and I really don't hear much about that guy. Um, he's still running around doing his weird faces, I guess, and trying to avoid the process server and the repo agent because they are actively going after his assets, from what I understand. Uh, well, I don't know. Anybody, I guess, if somebody is keeping track of this clown, you might want to check in. Let everybody know what's going on. Oh, it is number 9? Yeah, alright, so that, I guess that's, because I remember, I guess it was number 8 that he left, and she had a rather bad predicament trying to get back home, or something along that line, so, at it again. You'd think he'd learn. He's not very good with women, so he ought to just give it up. And I'm quite sure that Love Potion number 9's just waiting to embrace this guy's affections. Yeah, Cobra Stubbs really messed up. Um, and nobody likes him. Um, I know that the sheriff up there had a few choice words for him. And, it's that's his nature, though. He's the class clown. And he's lucky he didn't get thrown in jail for a long time because he really got himself in a hell of a lot of troubles. It's probably best that he stay out of there. Um, I know there's a rash of complaints against bounty hunters all over the country, and law enforcement is starting to crack down. I believe it's Minnesota that has a law that prohibits you from dressing in anything that looks like a police uniform, having a badge that looks anything like a police badge, and running around in anything that looks like a police car. Um, so that's going to be interesting to see if other states enact similar laws because these guys run around in tactical uniforms with the, you know, tactical vests and all this other stuff, and it's kind of strange. Yes, I did meet Cobra because he was down here during the um, Casey Anthony case, and so he was running around for that, and so um, I don't think that Cobra is going to be looking for home, Seth, and I doubt Dog is either. They've got bigger. Dog, he goes after the big money bail jumpers, and um, yeah, I don't dislike him. He's a nice guy, and he acted okay, but I think his quote unquote business practices have something left to be desired. I mean, if he's running around the country violating the laws when it comes to process or bail bondsmen, then he needs to rein it in. Well, thank you for the support, Dwayne. I'll let you know. You know, I don't think anybody's gonna show up. I have a friend by the name of Mr. Glock, and he would be glad to help me out if I needed. But I what's funny when talking about Timmy and Randy, and they think that they're these big important people, and that uh, everybody's out to get them, and really nobody cares all that much. I mean, with outside this closely knit community that have a beef with them, nobody really cares. You know, even the agency that has the active warrant wants anything to do with them. They're not in any hurry to get them back. They've got more important criminals to take care of. I mean, all this guy did was uh, fail to show up in court. And from what I understand from checking around, there's a bunch of these warrants out there. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of people running around the state of Minnesota with outstanding warrants. And for this reason, the state or the various law enforcement agencies really are not interested in picking these people up unless they do something stupid. Um, they, I had people from Polk County, Minnesota say, we really don't want to see Timmy again. You know, if we have to, we'll go get him. If somebody else is stupid enough to arrest the guy, we'll have to go get him, but we don't want to. And even the Minnesota agency that spotted him even came out and said, we can't arrest him because of COVID. The agency that issued the warrant doesn't want him because of COVID. And so, because of COVID, he actually did not get arrested. And, they had better hope that COVID hangs around a while because that's what's keeping him from arrested. And it's also, they're claiming that Timmy is not vaccinated. That information's wrong, but they're publicly claiming that he's not vaccinated so that they won't arrest him because they don't want unvaccinated people in jail. And I'm not sure if somebody is arrested and put in jail if they can involuntarily uh, vaccinate them. And so I don't know. Uh, there was an allegation made that he was pleasuring himself online one night because of the way he was jittering and shaking and everything. And so I don't know. Uh, it doesn't matter if he is or not. I support gay rights and all that. So I'm not going to criticize him if he's gay. That's his choice. I'm not a bigot, and I'm not a homophobe. But I guarantee you that if he is gay, he better keep it quiet over there on BitChute because they do not like those people are very homophobic. Yeah, that's red line. That's kind of what I thought because it's involuntarily giving medical treatment to somebody, which violates a whole slew of laws. I suppose what they would have to do with him is isolate him, and this is why he's not being arrested because they do not want an unvaccinated person in prison. And so he's gotten away with it because of that. Um, that's the latest theory as to why he hasn't been arrested yet. That plus the fact that he's staying out of the state of Minnesota. As long as he stays out of the state of Minnesota, he can't be arrested. That warrant is only good in the state of Minnesota so far. And then basically the second warrant that's out for him, I came across something that said there's actually 3, but they're misdemeanor warrants and he can't be arrested because he's not in the state of Minnesota. I do not. And the reason I do not support the strike is because it is being financed and run by outsiders. They've even got evidence that Vietnam is involved in the strike. And this is the thing people need to understand. Now, Canada and the United States share manufacturing facilities for the manufacture of cars. Some vehicles, like the pickup trucks that we were talking about earlier, are made in Canada. And those that are not made in Canada have parts that come out of Canada to the United States. And it's, it is my understanding that thousands of auto workers and affiliated workers within the auto industry are out of work. They're either getting reduced hours or they're simply not working because they can't manufacture the vehicles. They either can't send them out or they can't get the parts. Everything has come to a standstill. And what I find interesting about this, because, I can understand where the guys are coming from that are doing this. I just don't support it. But when Antifa and Black Lives Matters were blockading the roads, everybody had a fit. The Wittenhouse thing came as a result of protests and closed street closings up there. And so it's kind of weird that it's fine for one side to have all these strikes where they close down the highways and the other side can't do it. I don't think anybody should be blocking streets, and I certainly don't think people should be throwing rocks and, doing arson and shooting people. I think there is a way to protest and a way not to protest. And I guarantee you one thing, if the truckers down here in the United States screw up the Super Bowl tomorrow, there's going to be hell to pay. There's going to be a whole bunch of football fans that are going to be really mad. Because one thing you don't do is screw around with football fans. It would be like, someone blockading, say, the NASCAR races. There's things you simply don't do. And if people mess around with the football game this Sunday, I don't know. Oh boy, the stories I could tell. This is kind of a funny one. But I was at the Indy 500 truck stop up in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is one they call it the Indy 500 truck stop because of the NASCAR up there. And it's a big Union 76 truck stop. I was parked, and all of a sudden I heard this noise. And I said, there's somebody messing around with my truck. So I quietly got out of my truck and I started walking to the back. Because normally what happens in these truck stops is they try to steal your trailer tires. They're Bud rims. They can put them up on a jack real easy and they can steal the outside tire. And lo and behold, I see 2 feet underneath the truck. And I go, well, this is interesting. What the heck's going on down here? And as I start to look down, I notice that whoever's underneath the truck has her pants down. I didn't know what sex it was yet. And then I heard this kind of drizzly sound like a water leak, and I look under, and the woman is crouched under my trailer taking a leak. You know, of course, women, they can't stand behind a tire and do it like a guy does. She was actually crouched, and she was going at it. And I looked at her, she looks at me, and all of a sudden she starts to get up, and she goes, bang, hits the bottom of my trailer. And I never saw a woman shuffle so fast out of my trailer, put up her pants, and go running down the parking lot trying to get away. I mean, that poor girl was completely embarrassed. And I get in my truck, and all of a sudden the CB radio's going. Everybody, apparently everybody saw it, and they were saying, "Oh, did you see that chick come running out of the truck with her pants down?" They all had a good time with that. But that was probably one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me in a truck stop when it came to lot lizards. There's another one where I was driving a refrigerated truck, and we were in Denver, of all places. There's a truck stop up there. I think it's in Tower City or something, and we're all sitting there. And, some of us traveled by ourselves, and, there was a married couple that traveled in tandem. And somebody decided to play a joke. The husband got out of the truck, and he was going to go into the truck stop and order takeout from one of the restaurants. She was peeing, she had a stream like Niagara Falls coming out of her. Because when I looked, it was at the right angle. All of a sudden I noticed that this lady was taking a leak under my trailer. And she was crouching. So, it's pretty obvious what she was doing. But getting back to this other story. Anyway, the husband goes into the truck stop to get a takeout. It's one of these places that had, I think it was an Arby's or something in it. And so the wife decides to lay down. Well, somebody gets on the CB radio and says, "Is there anybody out there looking for a date? Anybody out there looking for a date?" And it was the John for this lot lizard. And so somebody gets on the mic and they said, "Yeah, I'm in the Clay Hyder truck over here, truck number so-and-so. Just have her come right in. I'll be waiting in the bunk for her." And so, this is back in the days of the cab overs. You truck drivers know what I'm talking about here. And she's climbing up the stairs. She opens the door, and she gets about level with the driver's seat, and a head pops out from behind the sleeper curtain, and it's the wife. And she started screaming her head off. This is a big woman. I mean, she reminded me of Tugboat Annie. This is an old TV series in the 60s, 50s, 60s. And she came flying out of that cab and swearing and raising all kinds of things. And the lot lizard let go of the handle of the truck and fell backwards on the ground, flipped over on her stomach, and got up, started running. The parking lot was icy, so she fell down, got up, started running, fell down, got up, started running, until she finally got traction to get the hell out of there. And this woman was screaming so loud you could hear her all the way across the parking lot. It was like, holy smoke. And I'll tell you that when the husband found out, he was none too happy. He spent the rest, we were on a weekend layover, and he spent the entire weekend trying to figure out who played that joke on him, because he was going to beat the pulp out of him. And never found out who it was. But yeah, and all kinds of stuff like that going on. But the most annoying thing in the world is you just get to sleep. You've been driving for 10 hours a day for the last 3 days, or else you've done a floor load of 46,000 pounds of orange crates or some damn thing. And you just get to sleep, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. Somebody knocks on the side of your truck and says, "You want a date?" And some people would say, "You want to get shot?" Because it's the bad thing about being a truck driver is to have lot lizards come up and start banging on your door. And it was like a parade. The big city truck stops, not like Atlanta. The truck stops up in Atlanta, the TSA. Holy mackerel! Um, it's like a parade line. They bang on the door. The guy says no. Another one comes up, bangs on the door. It's like you can almost visualize a line of them going down the parking lot, banging on the door. It's weird, and it's uh, I don't know how it's been since I got out of it, but it's dangerous because of the things that are going on now. Not very many. I think there's maybe one or two that were decent looking, uh, but some of these women look terrible. They look like they've been sleeping under a bridge all their life. They were wearing terrible clothes. The smell is unbelievable. You know you're passing by a lot lizard when you go into a truck because you can smell her across the parking lot. It's like she hasn't had a bath in weeks. And I don't understand why a guy would get involved with a woman like that. Number one, you don't know what she's carrying around down there to give you a permanent memory or something to explain to your wife when you get home or significant other. And you have to get by the smell because these women don't take a bath. Um, what city has the most lot lizards? That's a good question. I would hazard a guess that it's the big cities like Los Angeles. I know that Atlanta's infested with them. I mean, my God, it's like it's homecoming week for lot lizards up there. It's like the big one. There's two or three major truck stops. There's a really big one up there near the farmers market, and even the farmers market was having problems with them. And the farmers market is a secure location. They have very strict security there. And even somehow they get in there and they must ride in with drivers or something. And then, because everybody say, well, let's go down to the farmer's market because the lot lizards won't bother us there. And that turned out to be a fantasy because sure enough, there they were. You can't get rid of them. And, every major city has them. Now, like the 76 truck stop up in Chicago has a bunch of them. And speaking of lot lizards, there was a woman by the name of Eileen Warnos. And she was known because of her annex down here in Florida. She was hitchhiking around and killing guys. And she used to hang out at the Union 76 up in Wildwood, Florida, and stayed at a motel close to that truck stop. They've torn down the hotel since, I believe. But she used to hang out at the Union 76, and there's guys, when they found out what she was doing, that said, Jesus, I had her in my cab. Damn, and I said, well, it's your own damn fault if you get dead, because this is why you don't have lot lizards in your truck, because you're going to get dead. And so that for a long time, the lot lizards had a hard time getting any business in Florida because of Eileen Warnos. Fulton Industrial, yeah, I have. I used to deliver in that area. Um, there's a there was a medical supply company. I used to do a run from Sanford, Florida to Atlanta, and I believe they were in the industrial park. I've been to Coca-Cola up there. They're up on the Beltway, though, on the other side on the northwest part of the Beltway. And there's other businesses there, so I picked up and delivered all through there. And there was a small truck stop that was near there that if I could get parking, I would park in there. I can't remember what the brand of gas it was. It wasn't a very big, you could get maybe 30, 40 trucks in there. Yeah, it's really too bad that, because this is another thing where human trafficking comes in. A lot of women and teenagers, these are actually children. You know, when you talk about teenagers that go missing, a lot of them wind up hooking in truck stops and around major industrial parks because the street gangs will pick them up and they say, you know, go do it or else. And the women usually don't get anything out of it. They get very little. And it's the Johns that are making all the money. And this is why it disturbs me that Holmes, Seth, and Randy don't talk about this stuff. Because it's not who they say it is that's doing this stuff. It's mainly the crime syndicates and street gangs. And so, and it's also that prostitutes as a rule with law enforcement are not looked at very kindly, so it's very difficult to get law enforcement to crack down on it. And, you know, yeah, they'll have a sting where somebody comes along and is is engaging in prostitution, they'll take her off the street. And, you know, she bails out. Usually the John will bail her out, and then they start all over again. You know, it's just sickening, and this is what's being ignored with all this conspiracy theory nonsense that goes on. They don't address the actual problem of human trafficking, whether it be a child or a young adult or an adult, because it spans the ages out there. And so it makes me question their legitimacy when it comes to this subject because I don't see them discussing it at all. And, you know, except for this fake stuff, taking credit for what happened to Epstein and so on and so forth. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Well, Lee, you're doing what should be done. There should be uh, legitimate ways to break the cycle and get abused women away from these situations. Um, you know, and it's also, this has to do, again, we have the adult entertainment industry where teenagers and young children are used. And of course, you got the pedophiles, and you also got these idiots that are into child pornography and all this. This is where the direction needs to be taken when combating this. Instead of espousing these elaborate conspiracy theories, which are quite wrong, because all they're doing is they are diverting attention away from the true child traffickers and the true pedophiles. And can't seem to get through to these people. They don't care. They want this fantastic tale out there of being part of this fake task force and doing all this stuff that they actually are not doing. And 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 meanwhile, you have all these women out there and children getting abused. You know, because and it's not just the PPTF. There's a whole slew of these people on BitChute, Gab, Telegram, etc., that pretend that they are for combating this issue when they're only interested in lining their pockets with donation money, selling T-shirts and coffee mugs and subscriptions to seminars where they draw little circles on the whiteboard like they're selling Amway. Yeah, so that's the way it is in the world. Well, the only thing I can suggest for Lee is just to keep on keeping on, ignore these jealous people out there because uh, you're doing what needs to be done. Um, they are jealous because you're doing what they cannot do, because they're stuck on this right-wing nonsense. And I mean way to the right. I'm not talking about Democrat versus Republican. I'm talking about these white supremacist groups, the bigots, and the racists, and so on. You know, haters are going to hate, just like you say, Lee. So I'm just glad you're doing what you're doing, and just keep it on. All right, I think I'm going to do one last round here. Oh, I want to see something. But you know, it's too bad that the world is the way it is today, and all this stuff going on. Yeah, Laurie, I got your message, and I have seen this. Um, it's this latest nonsense. The false narrative going around is that they are going to use GPS technology to send a ray of some kind to the Super Bowl, which is moronic. Timmy has no clue how technology works. I did a brief comment on that. Uh, okay, let me. Warrior Mommy, I was going to discuss a QAnon related murder, but I ran into software issues, so I'm going to delay that for a while. And, you know, I'm trying to combat the issue with the software. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. But I may have to change video editing software because I'm getting all kinds of error messages. Um, and I haven't had this happen with this software before, but it's starting to get to the point where it's annoying. You put 2 or 3 hours into editing software, and then it won't process because of a codec error. And you know, this is material that's supplied by the uh, software provider. Now, as far as Clarksville, um, I believe that's in northeastern Tennessee. And we'll just find out right away here. City in North Tennessee, what? Looks like it's in north, it's not, it's northwest of Nashville, right at the Kentucky and Tennessee border, which isn't far from Bowling Green, interestingly enough. Uh, but yeah, it's near Nashville. Huh, I was wrong about it. I don't know why I thought it was in eastern Tennessee. I thought it was over around Greens. Let's see. Yeah, I always thought it was in eastern Tennessee. So it's just northwest of Nashville. And by the looks of it, Interstate 24 goes around it, so I've probably gone by it. Yeah, this Interstate 24 skirts to the east of it, goes right along the eastern city limits, and then up through Kentucky. And Fort Campbell, Kentucky is just over the state line from Tennessee, and so Clarksville and Fort Campbell are right there next to each other, which explains a lot. So that's our geography lesson. Let me get back down here. Yeah, Levi, I just I was hoping you were in here to answer that question, but I knew it was close to uh, Fort Campbell, And it looks like it skirts around the east side of Fort Campbell as well. Interesting. But that explains a lot about what's been going on with the fraudulent task force. Let's see. But that was funny about that. David Lester Street. I'm just going through Telegram here for the hell of it. Yeah, a bunch of people are counting their chickens, and they best wait until Monday before they start cashing in their chips. Because they're going to have to come up with a hell of an excuse if that case gets dismissed. But, live and learn. Went through this with everything else that's gone on with these people. But, alright. Yeah, normally I do the second channel on Sunday. And some of the stuff we're discussing would normally be there. But Randy kind of put the kibosh on that. She decided to barge into this channel. I don't know. The only thing I know is that Timmy did 2 selfies in Atlanta. The first selfie he did was at the CNN building in downtown Atlanta, and the other was the Georgia Bar Association. He did a selfie in front of them. So, if he's living there, it's hard to say. It's a very expensive city to live in, so if they're living in Atlanta, they better have very deep pockets, and God forbid if they're at the homeless center down there, because it's a rough place from what I understand. Atlanta's one of these towns where you gotta be real careful, because they get a lot of crime up there. So whether they're living in Atlanta or not, I don't know. But it seems to me they're just bouncing around from place to place like nomads. So what story? Well, there's places, Atlanta's a really big city, and they could be anywhere. And what I find interesting is that Tim's worst enemy, radio news, lived in the greater Atlanta area. And it would be a guess if they ran into radio, which I doubt that's going to happen. It would be statistically it would be a long shot. But there's a place for everybody in Atlanta. Just got to be careful what neighborhood you go in. Yeah, Annie, it's just like Florida's the same way. We got liberal areas and conservative areas down here, but yeah, it's largely Atlanta is progressive and liberal. It's so I that was one of the things that helped Biden down, I guess, was the big progressive areas within Atlanta. And it's where you pick up on megas and conservatives is in the suburbs. and in the rural areas actually. Well, they call it Metro Atlanta, Golden, because you have the city itself, and then you have everything around the Beltway. It's a huge area, and it's a lot of things. You have Delta Airlines is up there, and you have big industries up there. There's Ford is up there. Uh, it's a big town, and it just you got the core city, and then you have all the big suburbs that go around it. All right, thanks. Matter of fact, let me go in and look at it. Um, okay. I don't know what messenger you sent it to. I'll find it. Because I have a couple of messengers. I got so much software up, I never know what I have, but I'll check it out. But I've been to. Oh, thank you. Um, Thank you, Laurie. Appreciate that. Um, and I did check, and they haven't. The balance hasn't changed. I don't know. I'm going to have to educate myself on Super Chat and figure out how to um, how to address this issue. Because when I checked my analytics today, it hadn't changed. Yeah. Palatka, Florida is a Trump haven as far as, that part of the state um, is made up of a lot of Trump supporters all along the top of the state over to the panhandle. There's large sections of Tampa, St. Petersburg, and also down here in Orlando. There's a lot of Trump support. It's an equally divided venue. In parts of Orange County, they support him. Parts of Orange County, it's Democrat. So I guess you could call this a purple county. Um, and I can't remember who carried Orange County during the last election cycle. And of course, DeSantis was elected here. Um, in Florida. But we have what we call the I-4 corridor, which runs from Daytona Beach over to Tampa. And along that corridor, uh, it's kind of like a 50-50, but you have areas like Polk County, Lakeland, uh, East Orange County, going up into Volusia County. That's a strong Republican slash Trump area. So, it's a reality that, if you're going to discuss politics, that's just the way it is. And, from personal experience, talking to people in Palatka, I know it's a very conservative area. Naples, I suspect it's conservative down there as well. It's through most of the state you have a mix. Uh, Now, Miami, Fort Lauderdale is strong Democrat, um, and they always watch Miami, Fort Lauderdale during the elections to see how strong support is there, and they also watch the I-4 corridor. And then if it's a really, really close election, then they'll start parsing apart every county in the state. So this is an evenly divided country. Close elections happen all the time in the country as a whole, uh, and it usually is the independents that make the difference. They either go one way or they go the other. Now, I'm independent. I'm not party affiliated. Um, so it just depends on who is out there. And there's speculation that if Trump wins again, he might win again. Uh, Okay, I gather this Cash Jackson extremist and terror plot to execute government officials. Waukegan, Illinois. I'll keep an eye out for this. Uh, oh, I see you were hit with that look at what I found thing. God, that's just. Anybody on Facebook that gets a thing that says "Look at what I found," do not open it. It'll screw up your account, and everybody on your follower list is going to get spammed. Yeah, that's correct. That that's just one of these things. That's surprising about the Cubans, but I can understand because they came from a socialist country, or their ancestors did, and so they're not going to like socialism at all, and so it works to the Republicans' advantage because of that. Uh, no, Annie, what I am is what you would call a centrist. I am registered, no party affiliation in the state of Florida. I don't vote in the primaries in either party because we're a closed primary state. And I'm issue oriented. When I decide what I'm going to vote on or who I'm going to vote for, I go with the issues and not with the person doing the campaigning. Um, and independents are like that. We want to choose someone based on how they support the issues that concern us as a voter, and not uh, number one issue is Social Security. I want to make sure my Social Security doesn't get messed with because that's my income. So anybody that wants to mess with Social Security, uh, I have a problem with that, and I'm also into infrastructure. I want to make sure that we start catching up on all the repairs that need to be done with infrastructure. Infrastructure. I'm also a strong advocate for renewable energy because, while it's cheap, more or less, and convenient to be able to just put your gas in your car and go, oil is a finite commodity. We're going to run out. Um, and the only reason we have oil in the quantities we have it now is because of very expensive refining process, and I also think it's um, dangerous. Um, I would never vote for Bernie if he ran for office. I didn't the last time. Um, I think he's way too far to the left. Um, I wish they would compute a different formula for Social Security so it keeps up with inflation, because the increase they put into effect this year was wiped out because everything's going up. But um, the so it's my number one issue. But I do think we need to um, start getting smart in this country. And well, it's a divided issue here. Uh, a lot of people are against the Green New Deal, and a lot are for it. The Green New Deal, as it stands now, probably isn't going to go anywhere because with the filibuster, you need 60 senators to pass this legislation, and it simply is not going to happen. So I wouldn't worry about the Green New Deal. Now, there's a lot to support in this. Again, I'm going to be doing a segment on here eventually about who is really running the show, and it's not the politicians. Might as well get into it now. What the hell? because I do studies in economics and trends and stuff like this. And what I have found is it's not Trump, it's not Biden, it's not anyone in Congress that's running the show. The show is being run by multinational corporations, and it's multinational corporations that dictate what's going to happen. You either do as you're told, or you're going to be taken out. Now, we can elect Trump, we can elect Biden, we can elect anybody, but they are going to have to follow the tenet of big business, high tech, all these, because the money is being thrown at them. We don't have solar panels, renewable energy to the extent that we should have it because of the fossil fuel industry, coal, oil. So you can be for it or against it, but if ExxonMobil and AT&T and all these big utilities are against it, it ain't going anywhere. No, I do not. One thing that annoys me about people like him is he told his voters one thing. He said, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And this is like this woman out in Arizona. They make these promises, they get into office, and then they totally ignore what their promises were, and they do something completely. Joe Manchin is a Democrat with a R by his name. He's not a Democrat. They used to call them blue dog Democrats. If you're going to promise something, promise it. Keep your promises or change your party affiliation. And this is all across the board. Every politician does it. I don't care who it is. There's some exceptions to the rule, but those that are the exceptions to the rule are powerless to do anything because it's the big corporations that are running this country. So you can cheerlead all you want for your favorite candidate. I don't care who it is, but it ain't going to mean anything because they are puppets on a string. They are obeying the money god because they don't do what big corporations want them to do. Somebody else will be put into place to do the same thing. Yeah, I agree. Elizabeth Warren is one of those exceptions. But the problem is, look at what's happening to the Democratic Party. They ain't able to do shit. All this, the Green New Deal, Build Back Better, it's all gone. Even the Voting Rights Act went down the toilet because it's big business that's running the show. If I had to guess, I'd say she's in her late 60s. I don't know specifically because I don't have detailed information, but I would hazard to say she's in her mid to late 60s. And Timmy's in his early 50s, so there's age gap between the two is roughly 10 years. Maybe she'll tell us someday how old she is. But, I didn't expect to get into politics all this much, but what the hell, I got low numbers anyway, so it's not going to hurt. But, that's just my personal take on this. Now, I am very, very, very technology oriented. I am into technology. I'm into aerospace, telecommunications, all of it. It's part of my background. And because of that, I am for certain things that would be nice if it happened. But it's not going to happen because the green industries, if you want to call them that, aren't powerful enough to spend the fossil fuel industry. And it's really too bad because what's going to happen is in 30 years from now, is about where I expect things to hit the fan. We're going to run out of oil. We're going to run out of coal. And we're going to be screwed because we haven't got the replacements in place to cover all this stuff. And it's going to be chaos to get caught up. I consider her average looking. I generally don't judge people by their looks. I mean, look at me. I'm not anything to write home about. But, she's average looking. But the thing that strikes me about her is she's not proud of her looks. She uses pictures from 30 years ago on her profile over at the High Command. Or at the blog. Yeah, most of the times when you see pictures of her, it's her old pictures, I guess, from the day she got married or soon after. And, there are current pictures of her out there. But if I were Randy Erickson, I wouldn't be insulting Kim's looks because Kim's a better looking woman. I've seen Kim personally, so I can attest to the fact that she is an attractive woman. And good-looking woman, and in my personal opinion, better looking than Randy Erickson. But, it's what's inside a person that you judge, and the inside of Randy Erickson's not that good. It's got a very dark interior, dark heart. To be doing the things that she's doing and saying the things that she's doing and saying, and to other people and about other people, it's a very cruel person, and it's a shame. This is supposed to be a grandmother. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you don't have much choice. But in a way, wood is a renewable energy because trees grow. And if they would legalize hemp, dried hemp actually burns good. And it's more efficient than natural wood. There's a lot that they could do in the hemp industry. Yeah, she is. She's quite good looking. And, she was able to attract a guy younger than her, even though that probably wasn't the wisest thing to be doing. But, yeah. But, she's a highly qualified attorney. So, well, I'm glad I live in Florida too, although the last couple of weeks it kind of made me wonder uh, where I was living. It got colder than hell down here. It's about as cold as it was during the year the Challenger accident happened. But, okay, so. Uh, well, uh, Kim is off, is off the list now. She and her husband reunited, so she's not available anymore, as people would say. There's people on the other channel that want the truckers to blockade the Super Bowl. And yeah, I would not want to be the truck driver that blocked a bunch of avid football fans who spent a year's salary on tickets to prevent these people from watching this game in person. That's a dangerous thing to do. But, I say knock yourselves out. If you're going to block them, oh no, I don't mind, Annie. I've answered this question a lot of times. I'm 71 years old. I was born October 10th, 1950. Uh, and I've done a lot and seen a lot in this lifetime, and now I'm probably one of the oldest people on YouTube and running one of the smallest channels on YouTube, no less. Well, I agree with that. Some people are able to maintain their looks longer than others. But again, I judge people by who they are and how they act, and not by the outside. Uh, I don't know what happened in Randy's life to make her be the way she is, but she is a very mean and spiteful person, and it's just her actions show it. Um, I have found that virtually all of these people that turn into sovereign citizens or, you know, go anti CPS, for the most part, lost in one way or another in their life. There's something that happened in their life that traumatized them and made them go down the dark side of bigotry and these weird. Oh, you took a year off me. Thank you for that. Yeah, 71, not 70, but if I can do a way back for a year, I'll take it. And if I burp, it's because it's a combination of apples and Pepsi. Seem to be producing gas down there. But, yeah, the funny thing, we sit here and we worry about this minutia, and we're only on this piece of real estate on average 80 years. At 71 years old, my clock is running out. I could be here 20 years at the most, and then it's going to be somebody else's turn. And so we go through all this turmoil, put all this garbage up on the internet, blah, 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 and then we're gone. And, we'll be forgotten about. And it's really too bad. And in the process of all this is that our children out there that are abused and have all these violent things happen, they don't get to start their lives because there's people that are too busy arguing with each other instead of doing something about it, and it's extremely annoying. Yeah, that's the thing. They have abandoned their families, and what I have found in studying the QAnons, and this case that I was going to discuss is a QAnon case, is these people lose it. They get so embedded in this movement that they completely ignore their families. You go over on her Facebook, and rarely, if ever, does she talk about her family. It's all QAnon crap. And for a long time, she had a Facebook account where she changed her middle name to Q. She was known as Randy Q Erickson. And it took a long time before her to convert back to using her legal name. Who does that? But this is a cult. There's people over on Telegram say that I'm running a cult. I Funny definition for a cult. Because I don't consider myself important. I don't consider myself a leader. If anything, all I am is a host. Nancy Grace, I don't know. Levi would probably be able to answer that because he's closely associated with him. I understood that for a while she was on one of the cable stations doing a true crime uh, broadcast of some kind, program of some kind, so I don't know. Um, but if Levi's around, he can answer that question, or, somebody that looks into her career can answer it. Uh, yeah, I used to call Levi Babyface when we were fighting with each other because he's so damn young. But even when I was mad at, oh, okay, thanks for answering that. Nah, he came back just in time to hear me talk about him. Uh, but even when Levi and I were really duking it out on the internet, I always respected his talent. He's an excellent social media influencer, as they call it. He went to college. He's been on national television. He's been on with Nancy Grace several times, and he's just good at what he does. And if you have not done it, go over to Levi's channel and subscribe because he gets in depth with the cases that are out there of public interest, and he also hooks up with people like the owner of Web Sleuths and discuss cases of special interest. So check him out. No, uh, because Tim Holmseth will not own up to his lies. He's gone way too far. Now, I've had bad experiences with people in the past. Now, Levi and I got in it pretty thick. But, we were able to mend our fences. I can't do this with Tim Holmseth. He has gone way too far with what he's been doing. He's hurt too many people. He's continuing to hurt people. And he's causing people to do some bad things on his behalf. So he's beyond any hope, as far as I'm concerned. I don't ever think I will forgive and forget. And, you know, Tim has a talent. Um, he was a good writer. He was starting to get familiar with multimedia, and he could have been a good investigative reporter. But somewhere along the line, he went down the wrong road. He got into something that just absolutely doesn't make sense. And I just feel there's no hope for him. Well, that's a surprise to me, but Kathy is a very, very loyal person to Field McConnell. Um, Now, she can't mention Tim Holmseth because there's a court order in place that won't allow that. And Field McConnell agreed to it. Field McConnell is specifically not to associate with Tim Holmseth. He's not allowed to talk about Tim Holmseth, and it would be logical that Field has stated that his name is not to be mentioned, and he will not talk about him. So, yeah, that's by court order, so I can understand that. Kathy is a very strong supporter of Field McConnell. She's unwavering in that, and I have no problem with that. You can support who you want. It's always, I don't agree with Field McConnell, but Field McConnell made the mistake of getting involved with Tim Homestead. If Phil McConnell had not got involved with Timothy Homestead, he would probably be doing what he was doing at the time everything fell apart. He'd be doing his show. He would be talking about the aircraft theory that he has and all of that. And he may have had his critics, but he would be able to be on the field report doing that day in and day out. Tim took that away from him. And uh, God, no. I'm on Social Security. I do have a little bit of residual income, but I am far, far, far from wealthy. Um, you know, I'm not poor, but you know, I have to live a very strict lifestyle. Got to be pinch the pennies, the whole 9 yards. So no, I'm not even close to that. Uh, she posted something to that effect. I think what Kathy had said, and she'll probably correct me because she doesn't like it when I get things wrong about her. But she posted something to the effect that she is not sure he's dead because she finds it strange that we don't hear him speak or see him in live imagery. All we see is him standing in front of buildings and signs holding up his book. And, um, that. So whether or not he's alive, I mean, I went through that whole deal where we speculated that he was dead because he wouldn't show up. And the 1 minute video where he did his little stand up thing. Um, uh, you know, and I wasn't satisfied with it because it didn't show a dated material. That's why I did my little duplicate of that. Do I believe in psychics? Uh, Not really. I mean, is it possible that there's people out there with extrasensory perception and things along that line? It's possible, but you have to convince me pretty hard that there are psychics that can do the kind of things that they claim they can do. I mean, it's a pretty broad field. I mean, we have tarot cards, we have people that are mediums, and so on and so forth. And what's interesting is there is a town a little over an hour from here that um, it's a whole city, and it's like the psychic centra. There's all these paranormal people that live up there, and they have card readings and all this stuff, and it's kind of a tourist attraction. Tina Church. Remind me the name. I want to make sure I know who this is before I make a comment. Refresh my memory as to who Tina Church is, because if she's who I think she is, I don't think so. But before I say anything, I would prefer to know exactly who Tina Church is. Oh, the private investigator. Okay. No, I have no problem with Tina Church. I talked to her briefly, and she had a run-in with Tim Holmseth, and so on and so forth. So yeah, now I remember her, and yeah, I have no problem with her because I don't know her that well. Um, so I forgot more about her than I remember, but yeah, she's the private investigator that I believe she got involved in the Cummings case a little bit, and then her and Tim Homestead had the big go around. Um, so I remember her from that. And so I don't know. Basically what she's doing now, I know she was contemplating legal action. I don't know if she did that or not. But, well, you haven't heard me when I really go at it. I have to watch my language here on YouTube because they are very strict uh, with language, and I can swear with the best of them. I've been known to throw a few f-bombs around. I suppose it's my history as a truck driver, since we have a reputation for that sort of thing. But I try not to do gratuitous use of foul language. There's appropriate in some cases, but I think throwing the S word and F bombs around just because you can do it is kind of stupid. There's enough words in the English language that it's really profanity is not necessary. Uh, Mert Defender is someone I don't get into revealing exactly who people are, but she is someone that knew Astro at one time, I believe. She lives in Florida. Um, and back in the Casey Anthony days, she went from being a supporter to an enemy because for some reason I pissed her off. She got mad at me and she disappeared for a while, and she's only come back recently, and she has an ongoing uh, problem with Astro and with what Astro's been doing lately. Oh, we most certainly did. Uh, we had, you know, we would talk to each other on the phone and we would just go at it. Um, because I don't know if Kim thought that because she's a lawyer that I'm gonna bow down to her or what, but I stood my ground. And, it was this thing with radio news, and radio news had got us all fighting with each other uh, for the sheer hell of it. Radio is one of these people that just likes to see people fight with each other. And we had some knockdown, drag out arguments on the phone until we finally figured out we were being played. And then almost overnight, we came to an understanding, and over time, we've become good friends because we respect each other, we respect any similarities, and we respect any differences. And so we get along quite well now. And that goes for Levi, Alex, and other people. We were at each other's throats for quite a long time, and then all of a sudden we saw the light, and now we're good friends. The Butterfly Mountain is not the only one that thinks that way. There's and this is all based on rumors that are being put up by Timmy, Randy, and Astro, and other people. They get out there. The big rumor is that Levi and Kim had a big falling out, and that's false. They are quite good friends. They've known each other at least since the Haley Cummings days. They appeared on television with Nancy Grace and other pundits, and they worked closely during the Haley Cummings case, and so they get along quite well, even now. They're very close friends. So these rumors that are going around about any problems between the two of them is just sheer nonsense. Uh, and that's the problem. It's like a big soap opera over there about stupid things, and when um, what people should be doing is talking about things that matter. And if you're going to be against child trafficking, child pornography, child abuse, then talk about it and quit the damn soap opera. Well, Annie, where that came from, and we're getting into the area of the soap opera now, but where that came from is somebody published a picture of Jeremiah wearing an Oath Keeper's hat. And if that means he's an Oath Keeper, then that means he's an Oath Keeper, which is, you know, it's kind of a right wing group that, it's a religious group, I guess you could say. I don't really pay much attention to the Oath Keepers, but it was based on that photograph. So if he's, all I can say he's wearing an Oath Keeper's hat. That's just like people go out and wear, I wore a MAGA hat, but that doesn't mean I'm a Trump supporter. I wore it because of that video that I made. But there's all this back and forth. It's just like this Randy and Timmy having an affair. I mean, it's a rumor. People spread gossip. And it's a possibility. Are they? I don't know. But I think it's kind of weird that a married woman is running around the country with a single man and leaving, I don't know what the status is with her husband. No, he wasn't. It's not, I don't understand. Again, here we are with the soap opera. And she seems to think she's an expert in men's underwear. He was wearing exercise shorts. I've seen pictures of Jeremiah wearing this exact same outfit in a distant shot, and it's not underwear. They're jogging shorts. And I really don't know why they're doing it. Astro started doing this years ago. And all of a sudden, this happens in cycles. These pictures get posted over and over and over again for whatever reason, and it's stupid. I mean, what does a man working outside in jogging shorts have to do with missing and exploited children? This is the core issue. I mean, you got a picture of somebody in his underwear. You got a picture of a guy at a keg party. What does this have to do with missing and exploited children? It makes no sense. And the only reason they're doing it is to embarrass people, I guess. I mean, there's a picture of me with no shirt on. I was doing a live stream, and I was editing something. I thought I had the camera turned off, and somebody, for about 30 seconds, people saw me with no t-shirt on. And, I guess that's a big deal to be broadcasting on a show with no shirt on. So. Yeah. I've jumped in a lake. I was born in Elmira, New York, which is an hour's drive from Seneca Lake up in Watkins Glen. And I had an uncle that had a college, and I would jump off the dock into the lake. Doesn't anybody swim? You jump off a diving board at a swimming pool, it's the same thing. So Levi jumped in the lake. I mean, what is, you go over on YouTube and there's a million videos of people jumping in the lake, swinging out into the lake or river on a rope and letting go. There's people that do cliff diving. I mean, for crying out loud, how petty is it that there are pictures of people swimming, working in a garden, engaging in sports? I mean, is this where we're at on social media trying to discuss a serious subject that we're going to discuss people in their underwear or people going to keg parties or people jumping in a lake or stupid stuff. Uh, they go into the social media accounts of people uh, and download the images. Facebook accounts, TikTok, anywhere this is something that it's really making a mess of social media because people, you talk about, oh, I'm going to go on a picnic with my family and I'm going to go swimming in a lake, or a bunch of college kids decide to get together and go have a drinking party at, say, graduation week or something like that, and they go out and film themselves at a keg party, maybe a little silly, like toga parties or something. And the next thing you know, this shit's up on social media in detracting people. This has been going on increasingly for a long time. Well, supposedly, Levi was at one. I wasn't sure or not, but apparently he was at a party where there was drinking. And I've been to keg parties. I don't drink, but I've been to keg parties and everybody else drank, and I drank Coke because I don't like beer. Give me a glass of wine or a tequila sunrise, and I'll drink those things. But I mean, what are we, a country of Puritans where we can't have a little fun? He's not out driving on the road drunk. He's at a place where it's a social gathering, and if he passes out, I'd rather have somebody pass out on a bed than pass out while going down the road at 70 miles an hour. If we want to get into the dirt, Tim Holmseth has multiple drunk driving charges on his criminal record. He's got a minimum of 10 cases on record. And I'll get to that in a minute here. I want to finish this one up. In his book, and I'm going to do a little selfie here because, Timmy likes to show his book to everybody. He says, you can't get a copy of Timmy's book. It's impossible. Hello, folks. Guess what this is? And in this book, during the introduction, he said that he got so drunk that he was taken by ambulance to a mental hospital and was near death because of his drinking. And there's actually a case in the court records where it was determined that he was chemically dependent and he had to go into detox. So, that's the glass houses thing. Because I have never in my 71 years driven drunk, driven under the influence. I do not drink and drive. I don't drink, at least not very often. And, I've never passed out on a hospital floor near death and had to be given artificial resuscitation because I was going to die. Now, I believe, see, what was happening, and I don't care. Astro can deny this until she's blue in the face. But Astro has been passing these pictures around for a decade, and she's where all these pictures came from. She is obsessed with Levi Page. She hates him. She hates Kim Picasio, and she doesn't like me much at all either. And she probably hates me too. And so she passes these pictures around to everybody, and she did it over in Telegram because Infiltrated admitted it, that she had been in long conversations with Astro. That's likely where the pictures came from, and they magically appeared on Telegram. And Astro does this all the time. She wants Levi not to be able to earn a living in the broadcast industry. It's as simple as that. And she wants Kim Bacasio in jail. So Astro is the ultimate gang stalker. And, that's just these putters was part of the group of people that didn't like Levi because Levi was associated with radio and radio was doing a bunch of crap against him. And so that's where all this came from. Well, Astro hates Levi and Kim because they went after Tim Homeseth. Astro hates me because I wouldn't go along with some of the things she wanted to do, and I am friends with both Levi and Kim. It's as simple as that. If you support Kim and Levi, you're dead meat to Astro. Because she'll block you, she'll hate you, she'll accuse you of being somebody you're not. It's just the way it is. The woman is obsessed with hatred. And, I get people send me stuff all the time about what Astro is saying and does. Astro does something really interesting. She'll post a message that's supposed to be to me. But I can't read it for two reasons. First of all, she has a closed account, private account on Twitter. You have to ask for permission to go into her account. And number two, she's got me blocked. I can't read anything on Astro's account because she has me blocked and it's a private account. Now, she used to, in the old days, she used to put up, you have your profile on there, and she had like a little profile tagline where she says like, killing dinosaurs or some nonsense, overthrowing governments or something. And she would leave messages in her profile. And after a while, if she knew that I read the profile, she'd change it. And after that, she blocked me so I couldn't even see that. And she does that all the time. She'll put up stuff to where she's saying, "Murt this, murt that," as if she's sending me a message. And I don't know about it unless somebody sends me the material. And what's annoying is when I go on Twitter, I'll have a notification down there because she's mentioned my name on Twitter and I can't read it. And then I get stuck with this notification on there until she deletes the post. It's very odd what she's doing. I don't know why she does it, but she does it. She's that obsessed with me. Because I got one right now on here. And let me see. Alright, I don't know how well you can see my phone, but see that little one down there on the bottom? When somebody mentions your name on Twitter or sends you a message, you get that little orange circle. And so if you push the button on the orange circle, it'll come up, tell you what the message is, and then you leave Twitter, and okay, well, it magically went away. Yeah, I use Android. I used to use both Android and Apple, and I dropped Apple because number one, their phones are expensive, and number two, the software was driving me nuts. And yeah, again, she's obsessed with underwear, but Jeremiah was not wearing underwear. He was wearing jogging shorts. And apparently she doesn't know the difference between jogging shorts and underwear. And, it's just, what is her problem? Jeremiah's out of the scene. He hasn't seen Kim Bacasio since a couple of years after the Haley Cummings case. he's moved on. She's remarried her husband, and they don't see each other. So I don't know what the hell is going on with this woman. But yeah, I'm pretty well sticking with Android. I'm used to it. It works. It's easy to get software for it and so forth. And it's a relative, I'm going to be getting, in the next month or so, I'm going to get the new phone that came out. I've got two Androids. I've got this old thing, and then I've got another one in the bedroom. But before I go up to Ocala, I'm going to get the new phone because it's got a better camera in it. And the problem with this model of phone is it's got a relatively short battery life. So, so there's that. These conspiracy theories are going full speed ahead. Yeah, it's fascinating to read. Okay, I got who the hell is the Watcher? Somebody calling themselves the Watcher sent me a message, don't lie. So that means that Watcher, hi, Watcher's out there paying attention. And of course, nobody knows who Watcher is. Info unknown, notifications on. No, just some troll. But, that's. No, that wasn't Jeremiah. But, again, who cares? What is with these people? I mean, we're going around taking a survey of who gardens in their underwear. Did Neanderthals go around and say, gee, I wonder who's not wearing a buffalo skin or elephant skin or whatever? I don't care. I mean, if women are that obsessed with a stranger's clothing, you gotta wonder what's going on in their head. But again, this stuff is coming from Astro. Nobody else is doing this. And she could sit there and say, you're lying about me or not. And what Astro doesn't realize is I've got pictures of her doing this going back to 2010. She can fool. I used to own a cat that I called Bubba. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. And so right now, I don't own a cat. I used to have two dogs. And, the one was a black rescue that his name was Skippy, and he died here fairly recently. And so now the only one left is Amber. Now, we are talking about getting another cat. And the only thing I'm concerned about is how Amber is going to react to a kitten. I'd like to get a young cat or a kitten so they hang around for a while. And I want to make sure that Amber doesn't think it's a mouse and kills it. So we got to figure that one out. We'll see. But yeah, Bubba, I used to call him Bubba the Fat. He was a trip. He would get up on the back of my chair and just sit there, because the cats have this thing, they want to be up as high as they can be. And I love animals of all kinds. I love dogs. I love cats. I love birds. I've always wanted to own an African gray, which is a big parrot. but the things are expensive. They're like $1,500. And you got to really be careful taking care of them. Well, I don't like it either. I go over there out of necessity because, when you get talked about, you want to know what people are saying about you. So I go over there to see what's going on. And, and it's just, the software is horrible. Trying to figure the software out. There's one channel I'm trying to get on to talk to somebody over there, and it won't let me talk. I can read the material, but I can't reply to anything. It's really weird. And I also haven't figured out how to live stream there. I don't have any subscribers, or I have maybe one or two, but you have to have subscribers in order to live stream. It's a weird channel. So I don't. Okay, I have not met Levi. We were going to meet at a convention that was going to happen down here in Kissimmee, but COVID came along and screwed that. And I have personally met Alex. I went up to Ohio to do an interview with her having to do with a court case that I was covering at the time, and so I did meet her briefly for about an hour and a half. Nice woman, smokes like a chimney, had 2 dogs. One passed away, Wilson. He was a cool dog. And she has a couple of cockatiels, I believe they are. And, so we had our interview and I left. And I haven't met her personally since. And I understand she quit smoking, which is a good thing. And she just went through back surgery because she's had chronic back pain for years. So. Yeah, let me, okay. All right. Yeah, she's doing it again. Now, she put up a picture of an unregistered sex offender. And it was the sister of this unregistered sex offender that trashed my live stream because I would not agree that with the accusation that the children lied for the simple reason there were pictures of the woman naked having sex on a kitchen table. And so she doesn't acknowledge that. The picture is being put up of Jeremiah wearing no pants, yet he's got, apparently it is underwear, but this is in a very remote area. I don't understand the obsession with this. And yeah, it looks like the guy's in black underwear. But again, this silliness is to why? What is the big deal with somebody in their underwear? I mean, he's on private property. He's a total stranger. And this idiot, oh, now she's typing. No modesty. What is wrong with Levi and Jeremiah? What business is it of yours, watcher? Why can't you use your real name? Because we all know who you are. But, what is your concern with these complete strangers? How many men are there out there that wear similar clothing? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of them. We have a beach an hour's drive from Orlando. It's called Paolinda Beach. And guess what? It's a nude beach. I mean, and The guy's a total stranger. Why does this woman care about this guy in his underwear? These people are weird. So she's watching the broadcast and then going over on Telegram and posting these messages in a private contact. And she's done it again. The underwear picture came up. So what? I mean, why are you stalking this person? This is gang stalking right here on this phone. You need, the watcher needs mental health. She needs counseling. She needs to go and see a psychiatrist because she's mentally damaged severely. Oh, says, whose underwear you like better, Jeremiah or Levi's? Both are not very nice people. Well, how do you know? Have you gone up and talked to them? I mean, what business is it of these people? Anyway. I mean, is this woman going to go into a trillion social media accounts and put up pictures of people wearing their underwear? Oh, she deleted the one about the tighty whities, and a picture just came up of Levi Page in now this is what we get into right here. This is a picture of Levi Page and Kimberly, and here's the watcher up in the corner. This is the person over on Telegram doing this. And that's all she does. Day in, day out for the last 10 years is this kind of crap comes up on social media. What is this woman's problem? Why is it necessary to go into people's social media accounts and pull this stuff down? This is classic stalking. Both Levi and Kim have a legal case against this account, and so does Jeremiah Regan. This is invasion of privacy. This is revenge porn, because under the law, this could be considered pornography to have these pictures up on the internet. I mean, why? So the watcher is a very mentally deficient individual, in my opinion. There's no logical reason for doing this. Now, let me... Okay, I am on there as the task force, F-O-R-C-E, for truth. This is my Telegram account. Right there. And yes, that is my cell phone number. Everybody in the internet knows my phone number. And it's just the way, there's an option in there. If you want to hide your telephone number, you can do it. Okay, I'm going to probably be closing out anyway, because it's just, the only thing I'm doing here is I'm kind of entertaining the watcher, because she's definitely in here. And we have another picture of Levi Page, happy as a clam. Everybody say hi to Levi. Hi, Levi. How you doing, Levi? There's Levi, the watcher again. So this is evidence of stalking, so Levi can use that. She's a pervert. That's a good word for her, Annie. And I just called the watcher a pervert. So, we got another one. Another picture of Levi. Hey, hi Levi, you're famous. They love you on Telegram. See what else she puts up. I can't put up the dirty stuff, so. Yeah, man. My message to watcher is a pervert. Well, the watcher does. Yeah. And, the pervert puts up another one. There's another picture of Levi. Yeah, not bad looking, is he? Pretty good looking kid. So, yeah. That's the watcher. Yeah, I wonder if she'll go up. Yeah, she put up Jeremiah's picture again. Oh, he's got a star tattoo. The watcher, in my opinion, is Astro over on Telegram. Because, see, the thing, they hide behind these weird usernames because you can't identify them. I mean, she's too much of a chicken to come over there as Astro, so she uses secret names, and she's over on Telegram because she goes to every platform she possibly can to show the same drum roll of pictures over and over and over and over and over again. And it's the same cycle. It's Levi, Kim, Jeremiah, which I don't understand why Jeremiah suddenly got her attention. But I think she deleted the account because it's not coming up anymore. Yeah, she deleted the account. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, there it is. Now this woman here, the picture's not very good. This is an unregistered sex offender. And she right now is living in Central Florida, over the western part of Central Florida. And her sister was my moderator on my live stream back when I was covering the Casey Anthony case. And someone found out who she was. And it turned out that she was, I think she went by Tinkerbell. She was a moderator on Web Sleuth. And so a thing went up on La Flora exposing her as being a confessed sex offender. She had 4 counts of, she confessed, pled guilty to 4 counts of lewd acts in the presence of a minor. She had her sex organs photographed by one of the minor children on orders from her then husband. She pled guilty and was put on probation in exchange for testifying against her husband, who was sentenced to a long term in prison, and she uh, her husband died in prison. She had divorced him by then. And when this news came out and it was pointed out that her sister was on my staff over at Pal Talk, the sister got on my website while I was out of town and declared that the children were lying, that they were forced to lie by their politically connected grandfather. And when I found out about it, I said, you can't do that. I don't want her discussed on here. If you can't discuss her on here, then I'm going to have to fire you. I'm going to have to block you from here and send you on your way. And what happened was that the sister turned against me. And a lot of the material you see Tim Homestead use on the blog and on his live streams were generated by her and supporters of the sister. And there was a set of fake chats that were made under my name that were made because they gave my login information to members of 4chan. And it was the members of 4chan that hacked my chat site and created the chat that Tim has been using against me for over a decade. And there was a police report filed about this that Tim is aware of. There's a confession about who created the chats that Tim is aware of, yet he refuses to acknowledge it. And so that's the thing. But, and it is said that she is actually over on Telegram supporting Tim Homestead. So Tim Homestead is basically supporting a pedophile. It's as simple as that. And well, I got another. She's putting up another picture of Levi. Hi, Levi. She doesn't like Levi. She doesn't think he looks very good. This woman's a trip. It says he's ugly. Why did you say Levi was good looking? He's ugly. He is chuggy. He's got bad English. He is chubby thighs. Ugly. This is proof that she is actually on here right now listening to the show. I got 6 people up there and she's one of them. Strange. And, I'm going to keep this up until midnight, I think. This is just a trip. I know I don't have very many people in here, but it's a recorded program. You guys can, people can watch the recording. But, the Watcher is proof positive that Tim Homestead has people following him that are mentally deficient. That, they're 5 cans short of a 6-pack. They should be 11 cans short of a 12-pack. Because, very few people buy 6-packs anymore. Oh. I don't think I've seen this picture before. I'd like to know where the hell she's getting all these pictures. But, looks like a tiki hut in that one. But this is the kind, all night long. There's image after image after image. 1, 2. Mom hires kid. That'd be all right. 1, 2, 3. Now this is what Timmy is jealous of. This is Levi Page on national television as an expert on true crime. This is what's got Timmy all worked up. Why he's chasing after Levi. Because he is not sitting on that panel talking to a national host about his cases. Nobody wants to talk to him. So he's jealous. This is the reason for all of this. Yeah, this is I think this is Jeremiah again. Um, guy out having dinner, mortal sin. You're not supposed to have a dinner, and well, you're getting your pictures on the internet like you wanted. Nah, she doesn't have a crush on Levi. I can guarantee you that. Well, people over on Telegram don't like the Super Bowl. Well, I'm not a football fan either, but I don't think you want to mess with the Super Bowl. You might find yourself on the receiving end of a knuckle sandwich. All right, so we got another photo. Let's see what we got here. Now, this is how personal she gets. This is a picture of Levi and a young lady. Now, this picture's been put up at least 50 times. So now, this woman, even though her face is blotted out, is victimized by this pervert that insists on stalking Levi Page. And this is the kind of people that Timothy Holmseth attracts. Likes attract. And this thing that you could loosely call a woman is an example of the kind of people that follow Timothy Holmseth. Yeah, this is a woman. These are old pictures. Now, Levi could probably tell us what year this was taken in. But this woman is probably not aware that this is going on. That some stranger out there is posting pictures of her with Levi all over the internet, doing it multiple times on multiple platforms, sending these pictures to CNN, HLN. The woman is a sick puppy. Simple as that. Now, what she does is she will sometimes delete all these photos because she doesn't want evidence out there that she's doing it. But can't do it now because they just went up on my stream. And I'm reporting, and it's proof there's nothing to these pictures. And here he victimizes she victimizes another woman. Woman had the bad luck to be in a picture with Levi, and look what happens. Some mentally depraved woman gets his picture from his social media account and plasters it all over the internet. And somewhere somebody will probably be able to identify her. I don't know. Well, why is this necessary? It's not embarrassing anybody. It's making you out to be the criminal that you are. This is a criminal act. All these pictures that she's putting up, it's a criminal act. And the funny thing about Telegram is that these pictures get downloaded to my phone. I don't even have to do it. They're automatic. I found this out. I went over on a channel, and I looked at the pictures on there, and the next thing you know, they're all over my phone. And this is another one. She's stalking Alex Goddard. There's a picture of Alex. Why? We all know what Alex looks like. There's public pictures of Alex, but this woman is diving into her social media account and pulling private pictures of Alex because she hates her. Why? I have to expect to see some of the stuff that, Alex has put up some highly personal pictures on her account. And I have to expect to see, I won't show them, but I have to expect to see them show up. But this is why she does, she does this stuff. This woman is sick. Her family ought to be embarrassed at what she does. I don't know if this woman is still married. She owns a business. And yet, instead of concentrating on her business, she's on here at 12 o'clock at night posting this crap. If I had a business, I would be concentrating on my business instead of sending pictures of strangers all over the internet. She's about 60 years old. She's a grandmother, I think. Old enough to be a grandmother. I know she has at least one child. Because there's a picture of her with her son at a car dealer when she bought a Volvo. That's how we figured out what she looks like. And so that's all she's doing. She's just putting up pictures of people for whatever reason. Because she's a stalker and she's a pervert. And and what's funny is you can say anything you want about the watcher, and there's not a damn thing she can do about it, because if she went to court, she would have to identify herself. You can't defame a username, because the username would have to be identified in court in order to do any legal action. I guess. She's average looking. I mean, she's stocky. Resembles Randy to some extent. They look like they could be related. I mean, she's not, she's ordinary looking. What can I say? I mean, she's not going to be, she's not going to be winning any Miss America contest. She's not thin. She's rather large. And this is another thing. She put this up. Alex on national television. This drives Timothy Homeseth up the wall. Because here is Alex Goddard on CNN. That pisses Tim off to no end. This is why he doesn't like Alex. This is why the Watcher doesn't like Alex. Because here's Alex, national television. And look up here. 16 pictures. Which means that after this picture, she's put up another one. And it's a picture of Levi again. And this time, 2 complete strangers are now famous on the Radical website. And this is what, 10 years ago? 15? What the hell is with this woman? And she doesn't care. She knows that I am putting this up here as evidence. So she's not going to be able to get rid of these pictures now. Because she does, it's proof of her guilt. Why doesn't Astro or the Watcher put a picture of herself up there? She's so brave that she can put pictures of all these other people. Why not put a picture of herself? Because she's scared. Because she'll be sued. But this is how sick this person is. It's how depraved she is. And this is exactly the kind of people that Tim Homseth attracts. So when you judge Tim Homseth, the actions of this woman is what you can judge him by, because this is the kind of people he attracts. That he has nothing of substance to say, so he has to have his cult followers go out and post this kind of material. He could stop this tomorrow, or he could stop it right now by telling her to knock it off. He won't do it because he knows it's not going to come back to him. She's the one that'll go to jail, not him. But he encourages it. It's called incitement, but she'd never be able to prove it. So that's why this happens. What's this one? Oh. Congratulations on your graduation, Levi. Levi's graduation picture. Now, is this from college or is this from high school? Graduation picture. Shows that Levi's pretty damn smart. He's got a, we got Alex again. Again. This is at a media event. CATT up in the corner and ABC there. She's been interviewed on national television. She was in a movie. Roll, Red, Roll. I mean, this is jealousy right here. Because Tim is irate that Alex and Levi are famous and he's a big nothing. Media want nothing to do with Tim Homseth. Absolutely nothing. The only thing he can do is he can get on these tiny little right-wing sites. The only thing he has is this fake task force. And, what's interesting about all this is even if that case next week is not dismissed, all of this stuff that's on here, this comes into court as proof that Tim Homseth is encouraging this kind of behavior. It's being done on his behalf. This woman could be tracked down and subpoenaed into court to testify as to why she's putting these pictures up. And they're going to say, do you support or have you ever supported Timothy Charles Homseth? And under oath, she has to answer yes. And so you're doing all this because of Timothy Homseth. Yes. They lose their case. And then they have to pay damages to whoever they name as a defendant. So all the Watcher is doing is helping Timmy's enemies. Not a very bright woman. So, and don't try and erase these images, Watcher. Because guess what? On this phone, all I gotta do is go click. And bam. And so what do we have? We go into gallery. This is my gallery. And there you are. Evidence. The Watcher. The timestamp. And Levi Page. Cyber stalking. Take this to court. Somebody's going to be paying punitive damages. She is wealthy. She owns a business. We know all about her. So see you in court, Watcher. Second picture of Alex. And if you pay close attention to this right here, that's a Getty image. That's a copyright violation. You have to pay for a license from Getty to have that image. So she's stealing content from Getty Images. So I will send a copy of this off to Getty Images and let them deal with it. Because that's a $400 loss for Getty. I have a Getty account through my processor, my editing processor. I pay for access to Getty Images for the license. And these companies don't fool around. They see you violating your copyright. It's not a good thing. So yeah, Watcher, you just keep it up. I'm a little surprised she put this one up. This is a public group have been putting out a notification about Timmy, and this is not defamation of character. There is a warrant for Timmy's arrest. This is entirely legal. I've checked with attorneys on this, and as long as there is proof that there is a warrant for Timmy's arrest, this is a valid post, not actionable. Now, if Timmy wants to go to court and say this is a lie, knock yourself out. Because I have a copy of the warrant. The people that put this up have a copy of the warrant. The Anoka County Sheriff's Department has a copy of the warrant. Well, this is interesting. That is Randy Erickson. Now compare that with the photos of Kim Bacazio. It is rare that you see a full body shot of Randy Erickson. I've never seen this picture before. I don't know where the hell she got this. But, oh yeah, matter of fact, I think I know where she got this. She's stalking Randy Erickson's Facebook account. Because what's next to her on her right side is her husband. This was taken at a sporting event, football game, I think. But that is Randy Lynn Erickson. So judge for yourself what you think of her looks. Thanks to the Watcher for sending a picture of Randy Erickson. And Randy, there you go. You can take legal action against the Watcher for posting this picture. Because once this is on the internet, then it's free information, I guess. But, it's not a very clear picture. I think you need to do a better job. Looks like she took it off a TV screen. It's another picture of Levi, I think. But it's a crappy screenshot. It's not even worth putting up. But yeah, who else are you gonna put up there, Astro? But screen save this one. Save the gallery. So I've got a picture of Randy Erickson in gallery. Thanks to the Watcher. Yeah, that's Levi Page wearing a baseball cap. Probably from one of his live streams. Matter of fact, I think what this is, it looks like, yeah, it is. It's one of Levi's live streams, and he put up the poster. But it's legal because it's factual information. Tim Holmes has a warrant for his arrest. This is something else that's got Timmy pissed off. This is Levi Page and Nancy Grace. You don't see a picture of Tim Homseth with Nancy Grace. You don't see a picture of Tim Homseth with anybody. I think the most famous person I think that's had contact with Tim Homseth is Sarah Westall. And, she's limited to right wing streams. But here again, all she is doing by posting these images, she's helping Levi out. She put up a picture of him in a suit, says Levi can't dress. A blurry picture. I wish she'd find better looking pictures. I mean, she blurs these out. But, she puts up a blurry picture again of Levi and Kim Picasio at a media event. This is before I believe that's before there was an interview. And now Infiltrated's putting up soap opera shit. I don't know what any of this stuff has to do with missing and exploited children, putting up photographs and stuff. She's, Infiltrated, in my opinion, is just as bad as Astro. Because she's not talking about. But I keep getting more evidence. Well, at least she didn't put up a picture of me. This, I think, is a picture of me. And I was on the phone with a person by the name of Monoxide, MMAC. And it was a soundboard call. This call is illegal because it's being recorded. And Florida is what's known as a two-party state, and both parties have to consent to being recorded. I did not consent to being recorded. So, yeah, and since we seem to have freedom to put this kind of stuff up, if I ever find the picture I have of Susan, I will put it up for all to see, and you can judge for yourself, because she seems to think it's okay to do this stuff. It's clear that these people over on Telegram are not for eliminating child trafficking or any of that, because they condone this kind of behavior. I don't see what putting all these pictures up is doing to save children. I really don't. Maybe the watcher can answer that. Yeah, she's posting the same material on her page. I define it as a soap opera. Jeremiah Reagan wearing an Oath Keeper's hat. So what? They're domestic terrorists. Okay, I knew this was coming. Everybody be warned. This is a picture of me without a shirt. I've told you the story. Here I am. No shirt. Send me to jail. I'm editing. That black object is my video camera. I'm editing pictures that I took from the Search for Kelly to put on the air. I accidentally forgot to turn the camera off. So that is me not wearing a shirt. And that picture's been going around for ages. Now, if people want to unsubscribe because at one time, 10 years ago, I didn't wear a shirt on camera, then bye. Nice knowing you. What we have here with the Watcher has to be the biggest prude that I have ever seen on the internet. We're looking at someone that, yeah, I know, I've seen that picture before. It's not going on the air, Watcher, so you might as well hang that one up. But this is the kind of people that attract Tim Homestead. They're a bunch of wimps, prudes. I don't think we'll ever see a picture of Tim Homestead without a shirt on. I don't think we'll see a picture of Tim Homestead in a bathing suit jumping off or jumping into a lake. Tim Homestead is not athletic. He's short and fat because all he does is sit around and eat junk food all day long and allegedly plays with himself on a couch. So, there we are. Levi's underwear is stupid. Who wears that? About 60% of the male population, if you need to know. Yeah, she asked a question. I'm going to give her an answer. This is probably the dumbest live stream I've done to date. Yeah, but what the hell? I got time to kill. Okay, according to oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Now, those of you who ever see this personally or see the recording of this show, Watcher just put this picture of Kim Picasio up. Now, why don't you compare that picture? Yeah, she did it again. What's the matter there? You don't like... I gotta bring this back up again. Ah, she took it down! But you saw it for a second. And Watcher, too bad you took it down, but it's recorded on my show. So, all you people out there that watch the recording, and I'm going to do a screen grab of that shot, you people can see. I'll do a comparison. I'll put Kim's picture next to the picture I got of Randy, and you guys can judge for yourself. Because, you know, Watcher was too much of a chicken shit to leave that up long enough for you people to see it. She thinks, oh, we got a picture of Timmy molesting his kid. Allegedly. But this is the Watcher's lover. This is Timmy holding his, I guess it says his kid. But anyone out there that sees this man, you can call the Polk County Sheriff's Office in Crookston, Minnesota. This man has an active warrant out for his arrest. This man has a photograph of himself standing next to his son in a woman's clothing, high heels. There was a court case where it is alleged that Timmy's second oldest daughter dressed his son in women's underwear, panties. So there he is. And there's a private site where you can go, and if all you have to do is get Homestead arrested, you don't even have to wait until he's convicted. If all you do is get Holmseth arrested, there's at least a $5,000 reward. So you can make yourself a quick $5,000 if you get Tim Holmseth arrested. That's all you got to do. So that, the watcher is typing. Tim is better looking than Levi. Well, there's no accounting for taste. Levi wears stupid. Well, I just told you. I just had to, I guess I got to take pictures of this for this stupid woman because she doesn't read English. Yeah. But I'm going to do it. Educate this pervert. Because women wear briefs too. And it's funny, I never knew there were so many different kinds of underwear. I mean, there's the old boxers are brief. Remember the commercial that used to be made? Well, here you go. 57% of men wear briefs. I'm surprised I'm doing this. But, you gotta, sometimes you gotta educate stupid people. So you folks are going to learn something tonight. And I'm going to put a screenshot, or I'm going to put the article, the link to the article. And this is, see, let me go. Excuse me, I burped. See, you're going to like that, but I burped. Quick access. Oh, why did it do that? Okay. Oh, that's cute. Tiny little picture. But what I'm going to do is, anyway, it's 57% of males wear briefs. And this is where this comes from. So you can read that. You can read that article, and that's where it comes from. Is that article? Now, see, Watcher does a sneaky and she tries to hide a dirty picture behind another picture, but I've outsmarted her. But this is a picture of Alex. Yet another picture. She's used this as a profile, probably where the pervert stole this from. And, compare that to Randy. But, but here we are. It's after midnight. And this woman is online posting pictures. John Regan is not a convicted sex offender. That's defamation. And what is interesting, no, this is blatant. I'm not going to put this up. Um, the picture of the individual on here is QAnon Shaman, and everybody knows who he is. This character's been going around for years with this outfit on. He's serving time in jail. He's from the Tampa St. Petersburg area. So Timmy just lied, committed defamation of character and slander. And this watcher just did the same thing. I have saved that image, and it will be turned over to a proper individual. And of course, he took it off. But you can't do that. You can't go around putting stuff like that on the internet and saying that, this is how you get sued. And so QAnon Shaman, this is just yet another fraud. And so this is going to be downloaded, and I will send this to someone that can deal with us. But this is a flat out lie. But this is what these people do. They are completely incapable of telling the truth. And, well, let's see. 12:14. Well, it's been 5 minutes, so I guess. Yeah, she's going to have to start recycling pictures because she's probably gone through about every picture there is. I'm surprised that 6 people are hanging around for this nonsense, but, the watcher's got to be hanging around to get a play-by-play of the defamation that she's committing on the internet. But yeah, there's the underwear. Oh, I see what happened. Let me go on brand. Let me take that off. That's why the chart didn't come up right. I made a logo. So let me put it down here in overlay. But there you go. Read it and weep, watcher. 57% of men wear briefs. 20% wear loose boxers, and 17% of men wear tight boxers. And 72% of women wear briefs, 13% wear bikinis, and 4% wear shorts. Short underwear for women. So this is what we reverted to, folks, talking about who wears underwear. Thank you, Washer, for such an educating experience. But there you go. It is alleged that Levi Page and Jeremiah are wearing the same underwear as 57% of the male population. Gotta love it. Did you hear the audios? And, oh, that's weird. Boy, I'll tell you, the watcher must have lived a pretty sheltered life. I'm surprised she had babies, because you have to get naked to make babies, unless of course you do artificial insemination. I suppose they could do it to where they can't, to where you wouldn't be seen naked. Did she go and take a shower fully dressed? Has she ever been in a bathing suit and gone swimming? She certainly hasn't jumped into a lake. No, we can't. We can't have that. We can't have people jumping in lakes. That's my God. That's a tragedy. We got two more. Yeah, I've heard the audio. It's again, what business is it of yours, Watcher? Yeah, interacting with this pervert on Tim or on Telegram is kind of interesting. But amazing night. Thank you for hanging around. The six people that are in here, which probably are all from Telegram at this late hour. What do you mean? Come on, this is are all you people over there proud to be supporting a pervert? Because he's got to be a pervert to allow this kind of stuff to be put up there in his name. And are all of you perverts to be putting up this kind of stuff on a public website? And are all of you people prudes that dress in burqas? Another picture of Kim, another picture of Levi. Gotta say that Kimberly's a remarkably good-looking woman. I've seen her in person, and these photographs remind me of just how attractive this person is. And the watcher's jealous because she can't get anywhere near Tim. She doesn't look, if you saw a picture of the watcher, you would know why she can't get near Tim. Because he's, ain't gonna happen. I don't care how much the watcher tries, she's not gonna get anywhere near Tim. She's burned that bridge. And but stupid is. So it's just I'm going to be signing off here in 2 minutes, and so the watcher, she can continue, she can post these things to her heart's content, but I'm not going to see them because I'll be turning off my phone, I'll be turning off my live stream, and I'll be going to bed. People my age need our sleep. Now, I'll probably do a live stream tonight since this is Sunday. 1:30 and 12:30 in the morning, so I doubt that the watcher goes to church. Um, with material like this being put on the internet, she can't be a religious person. She can pretend she is, I suppose. But what can I say? Anyhow, I'm glad you folks stuck around to the bitter end. I mean, this turned into something of a shit show. But do tune in tomorrow night. We'll probably do much the same, maybe not as long. And we'll have the perverts come in here again, but it'll be down on the Task Force for Truth, where we discuss perverts like Tim Homseth and his followers. And, get into the perverted actions of the watcher, who seems to be the latest moron in the defamation and gang stalking of people that don't like Timmy. So until then, this is William K. Murtaugh, Murt Witness 1. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and stay tuned. Oh, yeah. Well, there are men that wear boxers. I mean, it's not like nobody wears boxers. But according to the flow chart I put up, the bulk of men wear briefs of one kind or another. If you combine the different styles of briefs, they outnumber the guys that wear boxers. And, that's kind of a weird subject to be discussing, but the watcher is obsessed with this. Yeah. Okay. This last picture here, I'm not going to put it on tonight. I might put it on tomorrow night, but apparently the watcher is a teetotaler. And she put up a picture of Levi having a drink, presumably of alcohol. But here's the problem. That could be a glass of ginger ale. Or non-alcoholic beverage of one kind or another. Wearing briefs. Yeah, he's wearing briefs. Everybody, watcher calls them tidy whities, and they're blue. I mean, the woman is putting up pictures of men in their underwear. I mean, why? Because she's a pervert. I wonder if she goes out and sniffs clotheslines with men's underwear on them. Probably not, because nobody uses clotheslines anymore. But that brings us back to the fact that Tim Homseth was convicted of felony trespass. I mean, was he going around stealing women's underwear off clotheslines? Was he taking baby diapers and sniffing them? What is the trespassing charge against Tim Homseth? Well, stay tuned, because I am eventually going to get to the bottom of the felony trespassing and felony theft. That's a twice convicted felon. Matter of record in the court. Yeah. In one picture, you could just barely see it. It was like he was in Hanes underwear. Presumably, they were briefs. And in another, he was wearing something that looked like a toga. So what? But, perverts are perverts. Timmy supports perverts. And by extension, that must mean he's a pervert himself. And, so we have this pervert over on Telegram putting up pictures. Now, this is an interesting one. One last picture shows you how stupid. This is a picture of Levi in his car. Yeah. Have you ever seen Timmy dressed up like that? Oh, there's that office shot. But the Timmy's was a dirty white shirt with a tie. He was He doesn't do a very good. His shaving is almost as bad as mine. Um, but he looks like a bum. But that's you know. But that's it. I'm officially off the air. Thank you for coming in, Annie. I'll be on here again tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. It's going to be open discussion on the other YouTube channel, the Task Force for Truth. I will not be doing a simulcast. And we'll go through this one again. See what else this pervert comes up with. Until then, good night, everybody, and have a good one.